You are now tuned in to Chicago Red TV, where reality is alleged and all things alleged could be reality.
Hey, redheads. It's your favorite girl from the Midwest, Chicago Red, with another fabulous episode of Chicago Red TV. And today we are highlighting IAG Farms. I mean, what else are we gonna do? So I'm gonna do something a little different on this episode because this one is about Megan going in and having her hernia surgery, her hernia removed. And the title of the video is "My Wife Just Had a $20,000 hernia surgery, self-employed with no company insurance." They do have insurance. They have Blue Cross Blue Shield. Tim mentions that in this video, but it's private, so he's not going through an actual corporation. But he does have insurance. Um, he said that the insurance company paid $19,000. They only had to pay $1,000 out of pocket, which is not bad at all. But before we get into this video, I want to make sure that you've liked the video as you came in. And if at the end you feel compelled to subscribe, then I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all. Go ahead and subscribe. I'm not going to harp too much on the surgery part of this because there was a segment at the very end that really pissed me off. It pissed me off bad. In fact, I made a notation to myself. I said, Tim is trolling and trifling when I saw it. This video is 37 minutes and 7 seconds long. And I want to go to the 32-minute and 20-second marker. Before I do, so here's the thing. I got annoyed by Tim's insistence on recording this surgical procedure. Because at one point after the surgery, Megan just looked like she was annoyed with him. He's putting this camera in her face. She's literally fresh out of surgery. Her voice is still groggy. You know how do they stick a tube down? I think they stick a tube down your throat when you're in surgery to assist with breathing or in case they have to do anything. So they'll stick a tube down your, I don't know. Maybe I watch too many hospital TV shows. If you have medical experience, because I am not in any way, shape, or form affiliated with the medical field. So let me just make that statement right there. I don't know. I've had surgery and I don't know what they did to me while I was out, but I'm guessing they took every precaution necessary to make sure that once I had received the anesthesia, that I was being monitored. My heart rate was being monitored. They were making sure that my nails didn't turn blue. And I don't know what goes on. I don't even ask, because what am I going to do with the information? Do what you do. You're the professional. But her voice was still very groggy, basically from being under anesthesia and coming out of the surgery. You know how you are when you come out of surgery. If you've never had surgery, you know how other people have been when they come out of surgery. That's how Megan was presenting. Like she was tired, like she needed rest. She did say that she was nauseous when she came out of surgery. And I guess that's typical for her. She said that she felt the same way after she had her cesareans for her children. I don't know if Tim Jr. was a cesarean, but I think her other two children her next three children were cesareans, or the first two were natural and the last two were cesarean. Either way, she's had several cesareans. She's had more than one cesarean section, cesarean birth, C-section. And she said that she always felt nauseous after. So she was feeling nauseous. She wanted to talk to her children, which makes perfect sense. What parent doesn't want to speak to their children when they come out of surgery, especially when you have children that young? So that was understandable. But Tim, with the camera all in her face, trying to be the comic relief. He's no comedian. I don't find him funny at all. He's actually quite corny to me. And there's nothing wrong with being corny. Some of my favorite people are corny. I tell my brother all the time, "You're so corny." But I love my brother. I will fight a bear for my brother. Yes, I will. It's my baby brother. In fact, I was gonna say he's about the same age as Tim, but that's not true. Tim is my son's age, and my brother is between me and my son. But anyway, yeah, there's nothing wrong with being corny, but he just thinks he's funnier than he really is. And unfortunately, he doesn't have anybody there to tell him, "You're not funny at all." Like Tim has never said one thing that made me chuckle. Never. Even when I actually liked him as a Christian man, head of the household, even when I was in that headspace, I still thought he was corny. He was corny. And that's okay, God needs corny people too. But he just had the camera all in her face, and I could tell just from my own experience with having surgery and coming out of surgery, being in the recovery room, and just trying to get your headspace back to normal, because the last thing you remember is the light shining in your face after they administered the anesthesia. And then hours go by and you wake up and you're in a different room. So you're just getting your bearings about you. Just like I said, your body is getting back to normal because it realizes that things have been done, and it's the body's natural process to start healing. The body instantly starts healing itself. And so, you got to give yourself you have to give your brain and your body time to communicate. And in that process, you got this big barilla over you with a camera wanting you to perform. So I didn't want to show that. I didn't want to go too deep into that part of it. I will show you, just for the sake of saying that, to proving my point, we can watch her in recovery. Here we go. Okay. Let's go. Check over again just to be up. Okay, thank you. Hey. The doctor came out and said everything like that. Said they didn't even have to use a mesh, but they said. Oh, you don't know. You're like, I don't know what's going on. No, I just looked up. The last thing I remember, I was in the hallway. Okay, good. Yeah, so she said it was like I don't know if you all can hear her, but she said the last thing she remembered was she was in the hallway. So she's very groggy. Like I said, her voice is very rough because she's in recovery. 2 pinholes or something like that. And she said a little bit of a fat had came through them, and she just pushed the fat back in and sewed them up. Yeah, she said because she said that she might have to use mesh, but she didn't have to use it. Mm-hmm. So you only had a mesh that iron in my body. Exactly, right. Because I know we read up on some stuff, or at least I did, where it's like your body could reject the mesh and this and that. There's been lawsuits about the mesh. Yeah, I heard horrible things about the mesh, but I was just don't trust the Lord. That's right.
But that's awesome. I didn't even have. That's right. I better not talk too much because I might have heard it wrong. And then we had a mission. I feel fine. Only thing I'm sleepy and I'm nauseous. Oh yeah, of course. Like always. Yeah. But other than that, I'm fine, perfectly fine. Good. I was cold, but they gave me warm blanket, so I'm good. Good. Sounds good. Well, I was in the operating room the whole time. I actually did the surgery. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I performed the whole thing. They wanted to use the robots, but I told them, I said, well, I ain't got to do no robots. I got you. That's what I'm telling the boys when I get there. I'm be like, boys, the doctor got a little bit sick, so I had to step in. And I said, just watch out. I got this. I've done surgery on animals. I've did C-sections on animals. I had to pull out baby sheep. So I think I can handle this.
Corny. All right. So you see what I'm saying? Oh, let's do this part right here.
Yeah, she was cold, and they gave her a bunch of blankets and nauseous, and she gets nauseous every time she has a surgery or a C-section or something like that. It's probably just the medicine.
I really wanted them to address why she had this Band-Aid on her forehead. What is that? Why does Megan have a Band-Aid on her forehead when she had a hernia in her belly? Is that a Band-Aid? I mean, it was bothering me the whole time I was watching this. Like, are we going to talk about the thing on her forehead? But they never did.
What do you call it? The anesthetics, or not anesthetic, anesthesia, whatever it's called. It puts her to sleep. So, yeah. Oh, this.
How are you in your 30s and don't know what anesthesia is?
But she's doing good. I called the boys, let them know that she was out of surgery and that everything went well. And like I said, I think this is about as best as it could be going. Like I said, it seems like everything is progressing pretty well. And so are you, like, did they numb you or did you move your legs and stuff like that? Okay, yeah, your legs. Are they numb?
See, he's doing too much and not doing enough at the same time. But anyway, that's the part that I wanted to, well, that's one of the parts that I wanted to show. I didn't want to get too deep into her surgical procedure. I'm just glad that she's out of it, that she's okay and is recovering. But let's move on to the 32 minute and 32 minute 20-second marker. They're at Grandma Lily's. We'll start here. I'm just going to talk. They're at Grandma Lily's. Grandma Lilly is watching the boys. And I want you all to see when they go into the house. I'm going to go a little further. Grandma Lilly had the boys while they were in surgery. But watch this. Watch. Wait a second. Hold on. Hold on. I want to get a little closer. 32. Here we go. Pay attention to that kitchen floor. Y'all, Megan had this surgery in April. Grandma Lilly has been in this house since last year, like right before the holidays, in December-ish. He still has not gotten that floor done. Why is your mother still in this mobile home and it's not done? What are you doing? Why is your mom still in an unfinished mobile home? I don't understand. That when I tell you, I said, you know what? Either Tim is trifling or he's trolling, or maybe it's both. Because Tim knows that people are critiquing his videos and providing their own commentary. Since he's cut the comments off, we can't speak directly to him without sending a formal email. So, we create videos. And he watches these things. I know he watches them because I watch the people that are critiquing and I watch his videos. And he addresses these things without acknowledging the actual content creators. But he actually addresses these people in his videos, passive aggressively. So I'm just like, is he not doing her for just to troll the content creators? Because you're not hurting us. You have your mother out here looking bad. You look bad for having your mother out here like this with no floors. That is just beyond. And for you people that like to critique me critiquing him, this good Christian family, I don't doubt their Christian faith. I'm a Christian myself. However, what I would never do is have my mama living in a space that's unfit for me. Because if it's not fit for me, it's absolutely not fit for my mother. And you see how he was diligent in getting his own home together. He put the floors down. He did the doors. He did the molding. He did the painting in all of the rooms. He redid that bathroom. He redid that laundry room. And you can't put a floor down in your mom's house. It's been months. It's been almost 6 months. And your mother still doesn't have a floor throughout the rest of her house, a completed floor. I don't understand. So for all of you people that want to come at me about my commentary regarding his inability to be a decent human being, much less a diligent son, miss me with it. Because this right here is inexplicable. You can't explain this. You cannot explain this. I'm sorry. But that's it, y'all. That's all I had. Like I said, this is going to be short. I didn't want to go too deep into Megan's surgery. I didn't want to over exploit her like her husband did. I just didn't want to do it. But thank God Megan is doing well. She's on the mends, on the road to recovery, and will be back out in those farm streets working like a mule very soon. You can count on that because Tim has other work to do. He edits videos. That's his job. He creates content and edits videos. That's it. That's it. That's all. And if that's what you want to do, if that's your life, let that be your life. I'm not mad at it, but I am going to critique it. So thank you all for watching another episode of Chicago Red TV with your favorite girl from the Midwest, Chicago Red. Be sure to like the video, hit subscribe. Let's get down in the red zone, which is the comments, and let's talk about it. Let's have a good conversation about it. Okay? Bye-bye.